We got Danger. Matt Schnell back here on the program is going to be taking on Louis Smolka at UFC on ESPN Plus 4, a.k.a. UFC Wichita on March 9th. Matt, what's going on? How are you?
I'm good. Happy to be here. Thanks for having me. As always, I appreciate you reaching out.
Of course, man. It's good to hear from you again. It's been a bit since we last saw you. June of 2018 was the last time we saw you in the cage. And I wanted to ask you before we talk about that fight and talk about this fight, were you worried at all about job security? Because, of course, the UFC had the whole thing where they were cutting the flyweights, and even right now the division's a little bit uncertain. Were you worried at all when you heard about all that news?
Yeah, 100% sweating bullets every single day. So, yeah, it was it was worrisome. And obviously it's still not safe out here for a flyweight. So, yeah, for sure.
Where and how did you find out about this news? Because, for a lot of us, it was on social media. Did your management call you, or was it one of those cases where, hey, you're on Twitter and you're like, wait, what's going on here? They're letting go of Shorty Torres and Jared Brooks and all these other people.
I had a heads up, but I'm managed by the same people as Demetrius Johnson. So, we had a little bit of a heads up there. But yeah, it was disheartening news for sure. It wasn't my favorite thing to hear, but not like I didn't know that it was a possibility. I think even, I remember having the conversations with the guys in the house about the flyweight division. I think we all knew that it was possible for them to get rid of us. So, as much as people would like to act surprised, I'm not.
Okay, you're stealing a quote from Nate Diaz there. I mentioned June was the last time we saw you fight. Why the layoff? Was there any particular reason you wanted this much time off, or was it just you couldn't get a fight? What was sort of the reason?
Yeah, they were. It seemed like they were only offering me short notice opportunities, and I'm not a short notice guy, especially at flyweight. It's hard to make the weight. It's a tricky thing. So that was kind of what was happening there. But yeah, it's good to be back. I mean, shoot, it's always a great opportunity to get in the octagon and prove what you're worth. So I'm happy to have the opportunity and against a good opponent as well. So looking forward to it.
Let's talk about your last fight quickly. You get that split decision over Inoue. I know you would have liked to get a finish, and I know you would have liked it to just be a clean sweep. What were your thoughts on that fight? What did you take away from that performance?
Yeah, I thought Inoue was really good. He surprised me. It was a challenging fight. A lot of back and forth. He would adjust, I would adjust, and by the third round, we were fighting on two different frequencies than we started with. So it was a tough one, and I think I proved a lot to myself. 16-hour flight, flew to Singapore into what felt like enemy territory, and got it done. Got a split decision. So tough fight. Anyway's really good. I was surprised, even though he lost, that he got cut. But again, it just shows you the state of things for people, because even a really talented, young, up-and-coming kid like Inoue can get cut off of a contentious decision. So, yeah.
People were counting you out in that fight. You were an underdog. I don't know if you saw in the betting line. Did your friends win any money, or did you have anyone message you saying they won any money on that fight?
Probably so. I imagine some of my friends bet on me, but yeah, I try to stop keeping up with the betting lines. Fights back, I block that stuff out. I even, like, when people tag me in it, even like on Instagram and whatnot, the bet, I actually like block those guys because it puts me in a weird mood. So
I hear you, man. Let's talk about Louis Smolka, another flyweight who has moved up to bantamweight. How do you feel like you match up against him here?
I think it's a really interesting fight. Honestly, I think Mick Maynard and Sean Shelby, they had the fans in mind for this matchup. It's going to be a fun one. We are both similar in the way we're built. I think both have similar styles, and yeah, I think it's going to be a good one. Fast pace, lot of scrambling, a lot of punches. Yeah, it should be fun. So I've got a lot of respect for Louis Smolka. I've watched this guy his whole career, and kept up with this division for a long time. And he's fought everybody, and he's beaten good guys. I know he's a serious competitor, and so am I. So looking forward to it. It's going to be a good one.
How is this camp been different, not having to cut those extra pounds? I'm sure it must be nice not to focus on the weight cut so much.
Yeah, definitely. It's strange because I'm actually think because of the stress of not cutting weight, my body is having a hard time holding on to weight. And I know a lot of people are going to roll their eyes at me because they want that issue. But yeah, it's interesting how things work. I've done my best to, I'm eating a lot and making sure that I'm staying on top of my diet. But the I don't think the move is to go in there as big as possible. I could eat a bunch of pizza and carbs and show up 150 pounds on fight night, but that's not the play. I'm gonna try to grow into the weight class eventually if that's what's asked of me, and gradually get bigger and bigger. I think if I wasn't cutting to 125 pounds for the last 10 years, I wouldn't be as small as I am right now. I probably would have already grown into this weight class. So we'll see what happens, but I'm not in a hurry to bulk up and get big. I think it's something that happens gradual, and I think it would be a mistake for me to just beef up and go in there heavy and maybe slow and sluggish. I want to keep my advantages. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Where are you training for this fight, and who are some of your main training partners?
I'm in Northern California right now. I'm actually staying with a buddy in Santa Cruz, and I drive up to AKA and Combat Sports Academy, which is in Dublin. So I'm working in between those places. Majority of my work is at Combat Sports Academy, and I get over to AKA for grappling on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I might try and get over there an extra day this next week. But yeah, it's been good. It's been good. A lot of solid work, as you might expect. Got some really good training partners. AKA been rolling around with a kid named Mark Climaco. He's fighting this weekend or next weekend for Combate Americas. Got a bunch of training partners at CSA. Adam Antolin, also an AKA guy. Darren Wayonyama, he's been my jiu-jitsu coach and kind of helped run my camps for the last couple, and he's done a great job. Yeah, got a good crew out here. Feel good about things. We're putting in the work, so trying to put myself in the situations that I think I'm going to end up in and working my way out of them. So yeah, we're going to be prepared, that's for sure.
On fight night, who's going to be in your corner?
It's going to be Darren, Adam Antolin, and Kieran Fitzgibbons.
And how do you see this fight playing out on March 9th?
It's hard to say. It could go a lot of ways. I've been grappling a lot, and I feel good about where I'm at in my game right now. So I could see me maybe submitting him sometime, maybe a little later. Add up some shots, put some shots on him, and pass his guard and submit him.
Do you feel like is the pressure more mounted for this fight just because of what's happened with the flyweights? We haven't seen any bantamweights really been let go immediately or anything like that. But is that in the back of your head heading into this fight, or are you just it's another fight? We'll just take it how it goes.
Always in the back of my head. So I started out on 0-2 in the UFC, and I didn't put myself in a good position. And since then, my back's been against the wall. My last fight, I would have been cut if I lost. Right? Anyway, got cut. The fight before that, Marco Beltran got cut. I would have got cut in that fight. So I believe the same in this fight. So this is 3 fights in a row where my back's against the wall. And, of course, I feel the pressure. But I've been here before, and I feel confident in my preparation. And I'm ready to do this. I would like to hash things out afterwards, and I'm well aware that winning solves everything. But yeah, my back's against the wall. If I lose on Saturday, if I lose on March 9th, I believe, yeah.
Okay. I like the honesty there. Last question before I let you go. In California, I know you're doing some cross training and all that stuff. What about downtime? Getting to the beach at all? Getting to do anything outside of the gym, or is it just strictly business?
I start most of my training sessions are about 11 o'clock or noon every day, so I get a chance to ride a bike down to the beach here in Santa Cruz and take a look. My favorite little place is here off West Cliff, and I like to go over there and take it in some mornings. But yeah, we're pretty tight schedule around here between all the driving and training. Not much downtime, but I do what I can.
Well, we're looking forward to this fight. It's coming up here March 9th. It's UFC on ESPN +4, but I like to call it UFC Wichita. It's just easier to remember.
UFC Wichita has got a much better ring
Yeah,
to it.
I agree. I agree 100%. Yeah, Matt, always thanks for the time, man. It's always great catching up with you. Glad to hear everything's going well. Just remind people where they can find you on social media, and if you have any sponsors or shout outs, the floor is yours, man.
Yeah, I'm mostly on Instagram. I don't use the other social medias very often, but at danger undercage score. Sorry, at danger underscore caged, and yeah, hit me up. Looking for sponsors as always. I'd like to thank everybody involved between CSA, AKA, and everybody in between. And a shout out to my beautiful wife who puts up with way more than she should.